You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. Did you know that creativity breeds creativity? Did you also know that you are uniquely made with gifts and talents? That once you activate your greatness, the world will be a better and more civil place. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson, and I am a wealth innovation strategist here in the United States. I am also the Global Ambassador of Innovation with I Change Nations and with His Royal Highness, Dr. Clyde Rivers. I'm so extremely excited and happy and honored to be offering you my Innovation Keynote Tour. During this Keynote Tour, I will be visiting various schools, universities, organizations, and churches to teach some lessons that I have applied to myself and that I teach all over the world from my multi-millionaire and billionaire alliance. The lessons will be in 5 areas. I am the author of a new book called The 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. And even if you're not interested in being a public speaker, you can use these skills to have better relations with your family, better relations in business, know how to present to potential investors, or maybe you have money that you want to invest in someone else's business. Public speaking is key in all of the 5 areas that I mentioned. I am so honored and humbled to be invited to Kenya as part of this Keynote Tour, and I cannot wait to share with the universities, organizations, and churches in relation to the 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking.
Okay, welcome back to KUTV Rise today. This is Biashara Tuesday. We are all about the money, we are all about the opportunities, and it's the conversations we've been having here since morning. Left on set right about a few minutes ago was the STEM club officials from Kenyatta University, of course urging students and including their non-teaching staff to come through and support them and be a part of that STEM club. So we're going to be building up that conversation onto how you can, of course, get yourself into a moment of creativity, innovation, and how do you tap into that. And I'll be having a conversation with a very interesting guest, but maybe that's being a teaser. Let me read a few of your comments so that I can keep you here and then we get back to that conversation. So here on social media from morning, people have been tuning in on the live stream, KUTV on Facebook and also on YouTube and also on your television set. So these are some of the comments I have to ensure that I mention them. Waweru wa Signature, you're watching the show. Thank you. Tell us where you're watching from. Frank Major Minor, Mr. Moneyman, Tupe Wisdom, wise one. So give us the wisdom. Yeah, if you've been watching since morning, you've seen the wisdom. And there's more that's coming to your way. Just hang on. Fishtown, KE. Fishware watching from, Fishware is watching from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you very much, Fishtown, for watching. And say hi to the people of the City of Angels in Kahawa Ndani. Awush Banadilod, good morning. Biashara Tuesday is lit. Jeremiah Washira, representing 1960. If you don't make money, you don't make sense. Thank you for that sentiment, Jeremiah Washira from the 1960. That is in the far end of Kangundo Road. So if you don't know where that is, you should go and find out. Forward Traveler Sacco in town. Na utaweza kujua where it leads you to. I had asked a question earlier. So if you think the current income or profit from a business is able to sustain you in the economy? Or what are your thoughts on your survival with what you are earning in the economy? I'll be reading the feedback, maybe just to read 2 comments so far, and then I'll be reading more of what you guys are saying on social media. Here there's Gatwiri C. She's saying on Twitter that I've been thinking about this too, but also realizing it's like the whole world. Incomes are barely useful. Social mobility is gone regardless of how much education you get. Don't get me started on healthcare. We are living by faith. Small illness, and that's it. Bunny here, already read Bunny's comment there. Thank you very much. Bunny Mburu Kuria saying, very few individuals are benefiting from our hard work. Once we vote in our leaders, we give them the mandate to run our taxes and to oversee our regulatory framework. If you don't vote wisely or don't check our leaders' work, our taxes and government debt can and have been misused. So that's Mburu Kuria pointing the finger back to the government for the current economic situation and, of course, what he's facing in terms of sustaining himself from the kind of hard work that he's putting in the economy. I'm reading more sentiments from you guys, so keep sending in your comments. Activating your greatness. Unleashing the 7 secrets of creativity, impact, and monetization. I'm having this workbook and also having another one here, 51 powerful P's of public speaking. Public speaking is like what I'm doing here for 3 hours every single Tuesday morning. So we'll get to know if I have, how many of these P's do I have so far and how powerful I can get. And also another one that I'll allow our guests to, of course, introduce to us a bit later. But I'm joined here by Dr. Crystal Lynn Richardson. I think you saw her video in just a few minutes past, and speaking about her book launch and, of course, the kind of network that she's exposing you to and what insights she has for you to activate your greatness. I won't be speaking much about it because she knows more than I do. So let me just introduce her and then we can dive more into this conversation. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right? It's a pleasure to be here again.
Again, yes, on KUTV.
Yeah, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
It's happy to have you here. I also love that we kind of share a name.
Mm-hmm.
Richardson.
We do.
Richard, I'm the son Richard and you're Richardson. Yeah, so how is it in Kenya so far?
Well, it's been phenomenal.
Okay.
The family here, I'll say, not the people, but the family here has just been amazing. I've been to Kenya before years ago, Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, and various places that I've done medical genetic research missions, and also I'm an ordained minister, and so we've done ministry, teaching dance, music, preaching, and all of that. So I love every time I come here, and this time has just been really amazing.
Yeah. Have you used the expressway?
Yes.
You've seen the infrastructure is improved since, I'm guessing, the time that you were here last.
It has. But we've been on some of the rocky roads too. So you have to hold on to your seat. But it's good. It's all
so
good.
To have a perspective of both worlds.
Right.
That's really important. Before we came on, you told me that somehow your work also builds up to what the gentlemen who are on air were talking about. That is the STEM courses and also STEM disciplines. Maybe just to tie it down from that conversation and then we come back to here. How is that? How can we plug this greatness to STEM and then we can get to introduce you and your work?
Definitely. So I'll just also kind of say a little bit about who I am, and then I'll go into the STEM part. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So my name is Crystal Richardson, and I am from Arizona in the United States. And when I was on before, I just talked about the fact that I was a little girl that believed in the dream that my mother and father told me, that I can be anything I want to be and I can do anything I want to do. So when I went to kindergarten with my little plastic briefcase, I wasn't sure at that time that I was going to go into engineering, but my brother and I would make things and unmake things. He would make toys from my toys, take the motor out, and I would take some things out and make things from his. And so I guess I was doing science, technology, engineering, math at that time too, as a child. Yeah. Early. So always had a tech kind of mindset. And so with that, there's been a lot of opportunities that have been afforded to me over my 58 years. I'll just get that out.
You're 58 years.
Almost 59.
You don't look a
Yes.
day past 35.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But over all of those years, I've been to about 36 different countries and doing various things in science, technology, engineering, math, innovation, ministry, biotech, and various areas of business. And so when I say on here, activating your greatness and unleashing these various secrets, it's something that I do have a little bit of knowledge on related to myself, as well as my multi-million-dollar and billionaire network, because I've had various radio shows, TV shows with lots of really great people on that have a high net worth, but not just that. They're good people that have really great give back models. And so that is one of the unleashing of greatness has to do with how you give back.
Right. Now you're here for a book tour and of course culminating into a book launch. So how has that been going so far? What is happening within this book launch? Which book are we actually launching here? Because I'm seeing two and
right. I launched Richard, I launched both of them. So Activating Your Greatness and the 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. So I haven't even done the full launch in America yet. I came here first. So this is the first that a lot of people actually have seen the book and the books.
Right.
And so they basically do go hand in hand, because in order to unleash your greatness, there's various principles we'll talk about when we get into the actual interview. But part of that is you can do almost anything you want to do in life if you have good public speaking skills, because you exude confidence, right? And people are attracted to that, and then they'll listen more if you're able to explain yourself. So the 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking really does go with activating your greatness.
Right. Now let's activate that greatness right away. And here you're saying that there are secrets towards creativity, impact, and monetization. You being an international wealth innovation strategist, I'm guessing that there's a lot of tips in here towards growing my wealth and innovation in that direction. How is that looking like once someone picks this book? Let's begin with it. The Activating Your Greatness. Once I pick this book and I have it towards the end, this is the workbook you said.
Right.
So there's
a full manuscript.
There's a full, right. So once I have those two, what do I expect to have gained by the end of the journey with them?
Well, at the end of the journey, but even at the beginning.
Okay.
So it opens up and it talks about the word that I recently, I think it's been 5 days now, had the opening ceremony, the ceremony related to a word that I got trademarked with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It's about a 2-year process to do something like that. And so the word is right here on my shirt. It's innovology, and I have a shirt for you as
thank
well.
you.
Yeah, a shirt, and the host from earlier. But it's innovology. So it's the manifestation of creative thought in motion. The manifestation of creative thought in motion. And so in order to activate your greatness, in order to activate your leadership and your monetization in anything in life, your mind has to be in motion. And when your mind is in motion and you understand how to put your thoughts together in a way that you can come up with plans, put those plans in place, and then there's a whole number of steps that are in the book related to even remaining state of the art. Like, how do you do that? The book goes into how you activate your mind and keep your mind in motion in order to do those things. And so it's a methodology, and once you learn it, especially at this age, then the possibilities are endless.
Innovology.
Right.
I like it. It sounds very smooth rolling off my tongue.
Yeah. Oh, good. I liked hearing you. Say it again.
Innovology.
Oh, that was great.
Right. So here, as you said, of course, you're getting it not just at the end of it, also from the beginning. I'm seeing step one here is recognizing the global opportunity. How do I recognize a global opportunity?
Yeah, so one of the things that we need to do even before that, of which, there's a few things that are in the book before that step, is that we need to have a decision. We need to decide. So there's various ways that I teach this and that I have taught this, where there's 5 different D's. And so one is discernment and decide. You have to make a decision that you're going to use your mind in this way. And then when we look at recognizing the global opportunity, a lot of people, even if they have a great idea, they may unleash it or put it out in the world, but only in their community or in their village or in their state or even in their country. There are so many more opportunities if you already have your mind set that you're going to go global.
So that you get to recognize that and put out your work all the way out there.
Right.
So you said that it's also important that this is also, put in and embedded within the schools. How does that process look like? How do we get to enable students activate their greatness while still pursuing academic courses?
Yes. Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're doing now, I've had a program 5 years ago that I ran for 3 years called Echelon Leadership Institute in America at my community center. And when COVID hit, I stopped doing the in-person sessions. And because I had ties in Ghana and various other places, Ghana, Zambia, and in the UK, I launched it with those particular countries. And so what happened there was we had over 50 students that were in what is now called Next Gen Innovators. Next Gen Innovators. So we want to have where we're putting this program of having this thought process and how you use this to activate your life and activate your monetization. We want to do that by putting innovology centers of excellence inside of schools so that they can have actual credit, school credit. And so it's not on top of what they're doing as an extra burden. It is actually within. And so we are looking to partner with high schools and universities, colleges here in Kenya first for the brick and mortar part of what we're doing with it. It's called ICE because it's Innovology Centers of Excellence, ICE. And so with what is already here, Richard, for the Innovation School, we are looking to have where we have communication with the administration and roll this out here and at other universities that we already have lined up to have some talks with.
All right, great. There are also 5 areas that I saw there when your video, of course, has been playing there, and our viewers have gotten some bit of information from that. One of them I saw there was monetization and leadership as well. Could you speak about those 5 areas? What are they and how critical are they?
Yes, and so everything that I talk about and do is related to innovation, and so innovation basically covers our whole life. We are all creative. And one of the things that I say is creativity breeds creativity. Because even if you're in the kitchen cooking up a recipe, and then you cook up another recipe and another recipe, you start having all of these ideas where maybe I could mix this in or mix that in. And then you're looking around in the kitchen and there may be something that you need to do better mixing that you don't have. And it's like, well, maybe I could make a mixer. And so you look at it that way. But I was bullied when I was in elementary school. And so I immersed myself into my studies and into music and into dance. And so with all of those areas, I started being just more and more creative and doing well and excelling. And then I was at the top of my class or at the top of the band or all of that based on immersing myself, and that caused more bullying. But I'm saying what I'm saying to say that once you start creating in one area, you can do better in your life in another area and in another area.
It's like you said, a ball rolling.
It's just a ball rolling. And so I did well in dance, I did well in music, I did well in school and making toys with my brother. And so that kind of launched my engineering career. And so all of those things, when I'm saying I'm going back to being a child, is to have children, youth, young adults such as yourself think about all of the things that you do and how you could be creative in those areas. And so I make my own clothes, I make my own jewelry. This is one of pairs of earrings that I made.
Oh, wow.
I make business plans. I have various ways that I can monetize, and that's called Element 10.
Right.
So the 5 areas that you're talking about, the monetization one is called Element 10, because I believe that every single person on this earth should have 10 sustainable and substantial streams of income at any one time.
10.
So 10.
Okay.
Yes, and that doesn't mean 10 jobs, Richard. It means
because I was ready to say I'm sending out applications after this.
No, not 10 jobs, not 10 jobs. It's monetization. It's streams of income. So have you heard of the cash flow quadrant before?
I'm hearing it for the first time.
Okay. And so in the cash flow quadrant, and hopefully all of our listeners are listening to this too, and look it up, Google it, look it up. It'll change your life. So most people stay in the employment portion of the quadrant as opposed to starting their own business. And then when you start your own business, the other part is where you don't work in your business, you systematize everything so that you can stand back and have other people work in your business because everything is proceduralized. And then the other part, and the last part of the quadrant, has to do with investing. So you start on the left as an employee, but then you say, okay, I have all of these creative ideas from a child. There were different things that I could do, growing up. And so that's why I like to start with the young people, is to have where you don't have to work for someone else. You can go to the second part of the quadrant and start your own business, but you don't have to stay there. You can go to the third part and systematize, so have people work for you. And then you don't have to stay there. You can also have where you have investments. So working in that triangle of not being an employee, but owning your own business, systematizing and investing, you can get up to 10 pretty easy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's part of what I teach, is how to do that.
So is employment the problem here?
And employment is not a problem because you have to start somewhere, and then you use that money as an employee to save it so that you can invest it and use it to grow your credentials. So that's another thing that I talk about in there. I have all of these little square boxes that you saw throughout the book, and one of them does have to do with building your credibility with getting certified, getting accredited. So that's another thing that I believe, that everyone should always be getting some kind of certification or accreditation.
All right. Here you say that it's possible to also have this integrated, of course, within a business, or if it's an organization like ours here, there's a way to use these secrets of creativity, impact, and monetization. Maybe just for a business person who's watching, how can they effectively use this book for their own prosperity?
Yeah, so it goes step by step in the workbook, and then the full transcript actually has like various stories, not just about my life, but other people that I've interviewed. I mentioned my multimillionaire and billionaire alliance. So it gives a lot of the lessons on how you can not just have a business plan, but have the best business plan related to your niche. And part of the thing that I really want to make sure that people understand is it's not just putting the plan together. A lot of people have plans, but they don't necessarily know a lot about the various types of risks that are related to your business. So there's another whole portion of what I do that deal with about 32 different areas of risk. And some people don't even have like one risk outlined in their business plan.
Wow.
So again, there's a lot of these different techniques. They're all meshed together. And when you do the beginning of this, if like in a curriculum here at the university, it's about a 9-week course of couple of hours twice a week, where you can get some of the initial information and start monetization right away.
All right, so that's why it comes in when you were talking about it can be within the school curriculum. If someone learns this within the course load, it's still going to be impactful for them.
Well, it'll be impactful even before they graduate. They'll be able to start monetization. And part of it has to do with the 51 powerful Ps.
And that's what I want us to move into, because I see here we are short of time. It's 9:52 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And we have like 3 minutes before this show is cut off air. So maybe speak about a bit about the 51 powerful Ps of public speaking. What do I have to look forward to this, and how does it build up to the skin cancer recognition and diagnosis movement?
Yes. So here on the front, it says impactful and actionable tips for any speaking engagement. So when we think about public speaking, a lot of people think about what you're doing right now, right? And this book also talks about if you want to have better communication with your family, if you want to have where you need to do a presentation at your job, or talking about monetization again, Richard, having where you are able to speak effectively during a board meeting or an investment meeting. You
Or
want
a
people
pitch.
to invest in your business, right?
Yeah.
You want to do a pitch. So that teaches you how to do that as well. And so, yeah.
Lovely. Are these books going to be available in bookshops, or if people want to get to them, how do they?
Yes, the 51 Powerful P's is already available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble in the United States, and then other international platforms, plus my website, crystalrichardson.com. My name might be on the screen somewhere for people to see. crystalrichardson.com, there's a link for that book. And then the Activating Your Greatness will be available starting next month in March.
Pricing details?
Yeah, they can get that on the site.
So ensure you check it out on Amazon and also on her website,
Yes.
crystalrichardson.com. How does it build up to this before maybe we get a last word from you?
Yes. So in all of the different things I do, I mentioned I work a lot in business, but also in healthcare and biotech. So one of the newer initiatives is related to skin cancer recognition and diagnosis. So what we're doing in this particular thing is having where we're helping people to understand that within 30 seconds, if they go through this program with us, within 30 seconds you would be able to diagnose someone with skin cancer.
Okay.
Because there's 2 people that die every single hour from skin cancer, as opposed to lung cancer and breast cancer, other things that people think are higher numbers potentially. Skin cancer is one of the worst.
Okay.
And so we're getting the information out related to that and helping people to be able to diagnose it themselves and then go to the dermatologist with information, because information is power.
Okay. This is really diverse. It's really diverse, the range of places that you've been able to, get your hand reached to, from monetization to leadership to, healthcare, and also saw a Bible verse in here. So I think even including the ministry and engineering, that's it's a lot to get to talk about here, but I'm happy we've been able to maybe highlight some of the important ones during this book launch tour that you're doing.
It's all related to innovation.
Right, definitely. So if people would like to reach out to you, I'm definitely sure that it's within the website, so they can be checking out.
crystalrichardson.com.
Okay. And the last word towards Kenyans as you're doing this tour. And next up, I think you said you're going to the UK?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe for someone who's traveling to the UK, where can they get you if they land there while you're still around?
Certainly. I'll be at the University of Birmingham on the 13th doing some speaking to, actually one of my students that's in Next Gen Innovators is collecting students together for some talks there.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Crystal Lynn Richardson. Any last word?
Yeah, I'll be speaking here, I believe it's on Wednesday, here at Kenyatta University. And so I would love to have the students come out, and some of the other things that I'll be doing will be live stream. But the main thing I want to say is that creativity breeds creativity, and you can monetize your strengths. You just have to know how to do it. So I'm happy to help.
Okay. Make sure that you're showing up at Kenyatta University grounds for the students who are currently watching, and then get to hear more of what we couldn't cover here on this brief time that we had on the show. And also get yourself a copy of this. I think I'll be looking for this one especially.
I'll sign one for you.
Thank you very much. You spoke about speaking to family members. I think I am excelling in public speaking on TV, but at home it's not looking good. So I'm hoping I can get to translate this to my family. Thank you very much for creating time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So for all those who've been tuning in as well, thank you for your time. At KUTV Kenya, we'll be continuing with the broadcast. So tune into the rest of the programming, primetime news, and also the other shows. Next week on Tuesday, I'll be back here on KUTV Rise. Today's Biashara Tuesday. On Monday, you get Karen Blessing on Art and Culture Monday before I come through to close up on that next day. As I always say, if you want to have breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. That's it.